This is a culmination of 18 years of volunteering, and it's something that I never thought I would deserve because it's a surprise. It was a surprise to me when they said that we're going to name this floor after you. I came here as a volunteer, and when I started, I was going to work 1 day a week. Then that 1 day a week turned into 2 days a week. Eventually, it turned into every day of the week. And I have to give credit to the founders of the museum. This started out many years ago when a group of World War II volunteers would get together for coffee, and they would discuss some of their exploits. And one of them says, well, I have a rifle I brought back from Germany, or I brought this back from Japan. And so a little idea was, well, let's create a museum. And from that small idea, that small gathering, a museum started to take place. There was a man in Houma who was a collector of very many military artifacts. And he said, if y'all want to get a museum, I will buy a building for you if y'all display my stuff. So from there, we started out with the old building. And then from there, we progressed. But you don't get here after 18 years without a lot of help. And through the years, so many volunteers have come and gone. And for lack of omitting anybody, it's hard to name everybody. But even today, as we have grown, we would not be here without such a great staff that we have. At one point in time, I was in a bad automobile accident. Well, this staff carried on like I was here every day. And so it makes me proud that I can be here today and see my name up on that wall. It really does. I have Mr. Riley Groves, my vice president. Bonnie is our bookkeeper. We have Mr. Adams, who's our armorer. And we have Kim Suggs, our advertising agent. Melanie Voisin helps Richard. And we would not be here today without Richard Cosset. Richard Cosset is our exhibits manager. And as you walk through this museum, I'm even amazed with the idea that he comes up with. So it's been a good 18 years for me. It really, really has. And I'm humbled by this honor. I really am. Mr. Farron Nakan is our shop foreman. He is in charge of redoing all of the artifacts that we receive that need work. And he is in the process right now of creating a Air Force crash truck. And he's also in the process of finishing up a 1941 Plymouth staff automobile. He's also in the process of recreating a World War II era aircraft, a 1939 Stimson that flew out looking for submarines in World War II. So he keeps very busy, and he's got some good helpers. But he's responsible. He's responsible for a lot of the things that you see. He keeps all of our equipment running. So I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Farron. The idea started in 2004 is when it started. And I started volunteering in 2005. I moved in from North Carolina in 2005. And so when I came here, it was already established. But when I arrived in 2005, I was 70 years old, and I was the baby volunteer. When I got here, in its infancy, the museum had no computer. I had a computer, so we brought it here. The museum had no truck, but I had a truck. So my truck was a museum's truck. We couldn't take pictures, but I had a camera, so my camera became the museum's camera. And so from there we progressed. And then in 2014, through the offices of our then State Senator Reggie Dupre, a Terrebonne Parish Veteran Memorial District was created. And from that creation, we were able to qualify and get tax-funded money to operate the museum. Before that, everything was done by donations. And at one point in time, Mr. Gordy Dove and Mr. Tony Alford, created a fundraiser for us one night, and in one night they raised $75,000 to get this museum off the ground. So I would be remiss if I didn't mention those names. Our most interesting artifact is the fact that we have an aircraft that was Air Force One that was sat in and used by President Eisenhower. And that, to me, is the best artifact that we have. Now, we also have, right above your head, we have an airplane, a model of an airplane that was flown by President Bush. This is a 1-to-1 scale model of a TBM Avenger. Another very interesting story is this helicopter. One day, I can relate this story. One day, the chairman of the board of Petroleum Helicopters came to visit with us. And as he was parting, he said, "If there's anything I can do for you guys, let me know." And our president at the time, Mr. C.J. Chris, said, "Yes, we need a helicopter for our museum." Well, lo and behold, 10 days later, we got a call from the chairman of the board of Bell Helicopter Systems. He said, "Understand you're looking for a helicopter." Yes, we are. We located one in New York. Well, the helicopter was brought here, reassembled, and here it is. 2 weeks after we got it, I was giving a tour, a couple from Georgia, and the man looked at the helicopter, looked at the tail number, and he says, "Where did you get that helicopter?" And I related the story to him. He says, "That was my helicopter. I flew it from Fort Campbell, Kentucky to Los Angeles, put it on the ship and went to Vietnam with it." How did you, it's amazing that I could find the helicopter that I flew in Vietnam, and there it is. So each artifact that we have has a story. It really is. And here again, it's just an honor to me to be able to be associated with this museum. And I look forward to coming here every day. I'm inviting visitors to come to our museum. We're at 1154 Bayou Street in Houma, which is at one time was Old Highway 90. It is now State Highway 182. And Bayou Street is pretty much the main thoroughfare going through Houma headed west. Until Highway 90 was up, this was the main road. Now, I don't know if you noticed, as you were coming this way, there are several telephone poles out with banners. We are creating a system called Hometown Heroes. And every telephone pole on Bayou Street will pretty soon have a banner of a hometown hero. And those are available. All you need to do is call our museum, and our phone number is 985-873-8200. And we can help you with whatever you want. And if you have World War II, World War I, or Korean, or Vietnam, or Iraqi souvenirs, or material that you want to donate to our museum, bring it. And our goal is to complete the second and third floor. We have stuff in storage that we can't display. And this is what we're looking for, to have the whole museum complete.